Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Q2FY23 earnings conference call of Aimco Pesticides Limited, hosted by TIL Advisors Private Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Sayam Pokarna from TIL Advisors. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Pokarna.
Thank you, Michelle. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all of you are well. Welcome to the Q2FY23 earnings conference call of Aimco Pesticides Limited. From the management team, we have with us today Mr. Sameer Dave, Executive Director, Mr. Rashid Dave, Executive Director and Chief Financial Officer. The presentation for the quarter has already been uploaded on the stock exchange and on the company website. In case someone does not have a copy, please feel free to reach out to us. Before we begin this call, I would like to remind you all that anything and everything said on this call that reflects any outlook for the future, which can be construed as a forward-looking statement, must be viewed in conjunction with the risks and uncertainties that we face. These risks and uncertainties have been mentioned in our annual reports. With that said, I would now like to hand over the call to Mr. Dave for opening remarks, post which we can open the floor for questions. Over to you, Ashit sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and to the Q2 FY23 earnings conference call of the company. I'll quickly take you through the quarterly performance and recent development, post which we can take your questions. As you have already seen from the financial performance, Q2 has been a challenging quarter. A variety of factors have contributed to this, such as destocking of supply chain at customer end, be it developed market or developing markets. This debottlenecking is either in anticipation of lower prices or country-specific challenges like currency depreciations, current account deficit, etc. Overall, we have witnessed and are witnessing in Q3 a subdued demand environment and customer sentiment. We expect this to continue till Q3. Another company-specific reason for this lower top line in Q2 is deferral of some of the deliveries from Q2 to coming quarters. This has led an inventory build-up in our books. But nonetheless, we have assured purchase orders from our customers for these inventories, and we expect the situation to normalize in coming quarters. Due to these reasons, witnessed a drop in top line to the extent of about 31% year-on-year and 8% quarter-on-quarter, coupled with lower EBITDA margins of 5.5% compared to 7.1% in the previous quarter. On the expansion project front, we are slightly delayed on the debottlenecking expansion project, which is now expected to conclude in January 23, post which we will have an expanded to a month. We would have expanded to a monthly production capacity of 500 metric tons. Given the current industry scenario, our outlook for H2 and overall financial 23 has been tapered down. We see business operations picking up along utilization of new capacity from new financial year onwards. This is supported by our expectation of receiving certain product registrations of our existing products in new markets, coupled with early projections received from certain customers and the additional capacity coming on stream in Q4. With that, I open the floor for questions.
Thank you very much, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. You may please press star and one to ask a question. We have the first question from the line of Samat Singh from TPF Capital. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Mr. Singh, we are not able to hear you clearly. Kindly use your handset to ask a question, please.
Am I audible now?
Your voice is breaking.
Is this any better?
Okay, sir. Kindly proceed. We'll check.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. The degrowth that we've seen in this quarter, I'm assuming...
I'm sorry, sir. We are not able to understand what you're saying.
Okay, I'll log back.
Please rejoin the queue. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star and one now. We have the next question from the line of Ramakrishna Neti from Zen Wealth Management Services. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for the opportunity. So I have a couple of questions. In fact, the first thing is in terms of the headwinds you have suggested in your opening comments, in terms of export markets. Is it an industry-specific problem or a problem which is specific to Aimco Pesticides? Because for the quarter, I think the other players who have reported the numbers, I think we have not seen this kind of scenario panning out. So if you can share your thoughts, that will be helpful. Second thing is, what is the progress in terms of on the contract manufacturing? You are mentioning around 120 to 125 crores of revenues coming in from this segment. So any further thoughts or guidance, from the contract manufacturing segment? Hello?
Okay. I got both your questions. Okay. Now, to your first question, this is to an extent related to industry scenario also, because we are right in the phase of prices correcting, and during the COVID period we have experienced all prices going up of raw materials, freight, logistics, and finished products. All prices were going up due to now the prices which are correcting very rapidly. There are certain customers who have deferred their purchase decisions till the time there is some stability. We have been affected to a large extent due to one of this reason, and another large market, which is Australia, is also got affected during this quarter because certain purchase decisions of our customers have been deferred due to the free trade agreement coming in line from January, which will remove 5% import duty Indian exports to Australia. Both coupled together, we have witnessed this lack of demand. But yes, it is more sometimes product specific also, and some companies may not have got equally affected due to this. As far as your second question of contract manufacturing is concerned, the contract is still going on at the same pace. We have the advance projections from our customers, and they are very encouraging for the coming year. Some deliveries have been deferred due to the seasonal nature of the product. And apart from that, we expect the same volumes to continue. And once we have the additional capacity, we will increase the quantity.
Sure, this helps. So I have a couple of more questions. Can I ask the operator you want me to fall back in line?
Continue.
Yeah. So the other one is with respect to outlook for the filtering. That is one, if you can share your thoughts. The second one is on the product approval from Brazil. Are you going to launch this financial year? That is the second question I have. And last one is last time we have guided actually turnover of around 450 crores for this fiscal and around 550 odd on FY24. Given the way it has happened H1 so far, I mean, are you indicating any guidance change in these numbers, or you are sticking with this guidance? If you can help on these three questions also.
Okay. As far as H2 is concerned, we will struggle to reach the target of 450 crore this year. Keeping in view the current situation.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. You're sounding a little bit distant.
I am?
Yes.
Is it clear now?
Sir, this is better. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So as far as H2 is concerned, we have tapered down our projections, and we expect similar numbers like last year, if not better. But we don't expect a significant growth this year because of the current scenario. However, if the scenario improves substantially in January, we may change our opinion. As FY24 is concerned, we are very optimistic about the demand projections we have received, and with the additional capacity available with us, we will be able to achieve our projected target as earlier. And as far as Brazil registration is concerned, I think I had shared in last call that our registration, which we were expecting in this year, the product registration went for phase 2, and we had to submit additional data for phase 2 session, and which is going on, and we expect it to be cleared by March 23.
Sir, on bifenthrin?
Sorry? On bifenthrin, registration will be cleared in 23. I don't expect any problem of phase evaluation in bifenthrin, and that should also be cleared by 23.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have the next question from the line of Krishna Kansara from Molecule Ventures PMS. Please go ahead, Mr. Krishna.
Hi, sir. Sir, my first question is regarding the revenue deferral in Q2 that you talked about in the management commentary. So can you please quantify the amount of revenue spillover from Q2? An approximation also would be.
I don't have the exact number of the spillover deferred deliveries, but it is not a very huge amount. There are few deliveries which got spilled over to Q3, and but I don't have the exact number. Any other information?
Okay. Sir, my one follow-up question on this only. So given that we are carrying inventory on our books, because of this particular delay in purchase orders, so my question is, are we also carrying the risk or price volatility, or those terms have already been fixed with our customers?
I didn't get your question clearly because some sound disturbance was there. About inventory you were asking, but what exactly?
Correct. So we are carrying inventory on our books because we had a delay in purchase orders from the client. So are we also carrying the risk of price volatility, or the terms have already been fixed with our customers?
For some of the supplies, terms are already fixed. As far as some of the customers are concerned, and for some of the customers, we are still waiting to finalize the orders, which will happen only in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my second question is on the product registration side. So for one of our existing products being registered in a new market, so is this expected to conclude within this financial year? Just a rough idea on the expected timelines for this registration.
Yeah, earlier our expected registration date was March 22. But since it went in for phase 2 evaluation, we had to generate a few more and submit fresh data, which is going on right now. The expected submission date is in December, next coming month. And after that, the timeline which have been told to us by our consultant is 3 months. So we are expecting it to be finished by March.
Okay. And so what kind of business are we looking from this registration in, let's say, maybe FY24 or so?
To begin with, we will have at least 50 to 60 metric ton per month business we can expect from that market. But I think the exact numbers and projections we will have only by March next year, when we are looking at the registration coming through and we discuss with our potential customers in that market.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have another question. So, has there been any developments in commercialization of new molecules, like, completion of data generation? You mentioned earlier, in earlier interactions that, you have completed the data generation for one of the complex molecules. So, just idea, any developments on the same?
So the registration is applied for new molecules. For one of the new molecules is already applied, data is over. And for another molecule, data generation is still going on. Another 4 months we will finish the data generation and then apply for registration. And then we have to wait. So it is going on. It's an ongoing activity.
Okay. Okay, sir. Sir, I have one last question. Can you share some updates on trichoplyr demand and, its market scenario? How has the pricing been in, let's say, last quarter or so? And some idea on the spread.
Prices have reduced from the earlier quarter, have faced some reduction in price. At the same time, the cost of production also has gone down due to reduction in raw material pricing of the product. And as far as demand is concerned, it is still remains very strong. But at the same time, as I had mentioned in my opening remarks, a lot of customers are deferring their decisions to product earlier before the season due to falling prices. And when one of the market customers awaiting implementation of the free trade agreement, and that's the reason there are some delays in purchases. But as far as demand, the field is concerned, it is very strong.
Okay. And so one related question. So what is the price parity of this triclopyr versus its substitute product, glyphosate? So is that price parity still intact? Is it still cheaper?
It is still cheaper than glyphosate. So it is still continuing, yeah.
Okay. Sir, just a last question.
Krisha,
Can you just...
Ms. Krisha, I would request you to please rejoin the queue. There are many other participants who are waiting for their turn. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Samarth Singh from TPF Capital. That's a follow-up question. Sorry, that's the new question. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, am I audible now?
Yeah, you are.
Please proceed.
Yes, my question was on triclopyr. I think we were, this is a molecule supposed to be growing at 20% a year, 20,000 ton global molecule. So, is that, I'm surprised that, and given that it's our major molecule, I'm surprised we've seen such a revenue decline. Could you help me, explain that a little bit more? I mean, it seems like there's a major shift in in the demand, even though you're saying that is not the case as of now?
No, I think the ground level demand remains very strong. We can make out that from the early projections we have received for the coming year, which are significantly higher than the current year. In the current year, this, with the drop in our the top line, it's mainly due to deferment of purchases from some customers and nothing beyond that. Yes, at the same time, price is also softening a bit than the earlier quarters.
And I think we were doing 100 to 125 tons on the contract business. So are we still running at that, or has that come off on that?
Yes, we are still at the same level. We still don't have the higher production available from production, which we were expecting to start in Q3. But there are certain delays in implementation, and we expect it to start from January 23. Once the production comes in line and stabilizes, we will have higher numbers.
Okay, so and we were hoping to ramp that up to 300 tons a month. Is that right?
Yes.
So by January 23, you expect that?
Yes. It'll start from January 23. We'll achieve 300 tons in January. It's a slow process which will take about a couple of months for the plant to stabilize and achieve that capacity.
Okay. And just so if the demand for the contract business is still strong, even if other customers deferred, why could we not move that capacity for the contract business?
Sorry, I didn't get the question correctly.
If there was subdued demand in this quarter for traclopyr, why could we not move that and supply to our contract customer?
No, I think this is a seasonal product, so the demand for is basically 6 months in a year. So rest of the 6 months the supply continues and it has to be stocked. So that is why we cannot randomly increase the supply under contract unless it is planned. So if you look at next year, the planned numbers are different.
Okay. And a last question from my side. You talked about price parity between glyphosate and traclopyr. But is that, I think you mentioned before that is really not a concern as traclopyr is used for other purposes as well and is not necessarily just a substitute for glyphosate. So could you just talk about that a little bit?
So triclopyr is basically in pastures also, and it's a selective herbicide. So it's used broadly for weed control. So and it's mainly used as mixtures with other herbicides. So as far as glyphosate is used, separate, like individually. There are hardly few mixtures of glyphosate in formulations. So basically, they are not exactly same products doing the same thing. There are different markets segments for both the products, but they are both weedicides.
So does a significant reduction in glyphosate pricing, will that affect demand for traclopyr?
Not too much. Yes, if the glyphosate prices still further go down by another 50%, it may affect some demand, but glyphosate itself is under a lot of pressure from many countries, and to the contrary, we expect a lot of glyphosate market to get converted to triclopyr and other weedicides.
Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Sushil Bhujwani from GreenEdge Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for taking my question. Just wanted to understand, if my understanding is correct, there is some kind of increase in the employee cost, in the first half. So what is this attributable to? Because it's been 4% around, I think, in the past, but I think it's closer to 6% now.
So I think, since the hiring is continuously on, we have hired new talent this year also. And That may be one of the reasons why some of the employee costs going up. But it's not significantly high.
But sir, there's almost a 2% kind of a difference which I can see now. So, and that I think is also impacting the overall operating margins because you were closer to around 7%. I think that has fallen to maybe around.
One of the reasons of fall in EBITDA margin is reduction in top line. We've not achieved the sales figures what we had achieved last year. Depreciation has almost doubled because of higher capex. And as far as other costs are concerned, we are very much in line with the comparison of last year.
And sir, as a trend, do you see the raw material cost also decreasing at a similar level to what our probably product cost is decreasing? Do you see a similar trend, or you see the raw material cost still being there?
No, it is decreasing rapidly. It is decreasing faster than the finished product price because yes, obvious product takes some time for reduction in prices, but raw material prices are reducing significantly.
All right, sir. So just one more question on the contract manufacturing side. So what is the value of the contract? If my understanding is correct, is around 60 crores a quarter or something like that?
Almost, yeah. Almost.
But that is something which is likely to increase, right? That's what our guidance has been.
It is likely to increase. Once we have the higher capacity production available, it is likely to increase. And we have now planned it January onwards. Once the higher capacity production starts and stabilizes, we will change the numbers.
So, sir, then what can be the value then? Maybe 90 crores or something like that?
Can go up to about 80 crore. We have received early projections from our contract manufacturing customer, and which looks very strong. So it depends how much we are able to produce and supply. But I'm confident that we will be able to achieve exactly that.
And sir, on the technical front, any new product where you see probably an opportunity like we have probably in the existing technical products? You have any large product in the pipeline?
We have two news which we will start manufacturing very soon, but I don't have the exact date because we will take a decision on setting up the manufacturing facility once we have the registration, coming forward from certain markets. And so two new products, one insecticide and one herbicide is in pipeline.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. I'm done with my questions.
Yeah.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to all the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star and 1 on their touchtone phone. We have the next question from the line of Yogansh Jeswani from Mittal Analytics. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So just one quick question from my end. So in last year's annual report, we had mentioned that we phased out chlorpyrifos. So has that continued in this year as well, or do we think that we can still do some business from chlorpyrifos?
We are doing chlorpyrifos at the moment. We are continuing our chlorpyrifos business. But at the same time, we keep this in mind that chlorpyrifos has limited amount of time, some similar to like glyphosate. So it is facing evaluation in many countries. US has banned chlorpyrifos, and due to this, a lot of countries supplying finished product or food grains to US also have started banning chlorpyrifos. But still, at the same time, demand is still strong, and we are continuing chlorpyrifos production. We are not increasing any capacity, we're not investing money, but we are continuing production.
Got it. So, sir, in H1 so far, how much would be the contribution from this product?
Chlorpyrifos would be about 40-45 crore.
In H1?
Yeah,
total?
H1. Yeah.
Okay. And the remaining would be... Okay. And what was it in FY22, sir?
FY22, I'm not getting those numbers at the moment, but it was higher than this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then other than this, the other two, your bifenthrin and triclopyr will be the other two big contributors, right?
Other two molecules, yes.
What would be their contribution in H1 so far, sir, if you could share that?
Bifenthrin was very negligible because it's mainly normally an H2 molecule, and triclopyr are similar in numbers, maybe little less than last year.
Okay. And is it like this that when chlorpyrifos is lower, bifenthrin then picks up in H2 and the capacity is fungible between the two?
Completely, they are, one is an insecticide, one is an herbicide, so completely different products.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. That's it from my side. Thank you and best of luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants may please press star and 1 to ask a question. We have a next follow-up question from the line of Samarth Singh from TPF Capital. Please go ahead.
So thanks for the follow-up. I just had one clarification. You mentioned we're doing 20 crores of contract business per quarter, and you said that will scale up to 80 crores. Is that right?
Yes, it will go up to 80 crores.
So how is that we're going from 100 tons, even if we go to 300 tons, and if realizations are coming down, how will the business scale up 4 times?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. What you are saying?
So we are currently doing 100 to 125 tons a month, right?
Yes.
We plan to scale that up to 300 tons.
Yeah.
And you are saying that we are doing 20 crores a quarter as of now. So if we scale up 3 times, but realizations are coming down for triclopyr, how will our contract business go from 20 to 80?
No, we are eventually planning a 500-ton capacity. So right now we are initiating production of 300 tons from January, and later on during the year it will be increased to 500 tons.
Okay. So, but 300 tons will start in January, and you said it will take a couple of months.
Yes. It's just delayed. It would have started from October, but there are some delays we are facing. It will start from January now.
Okay. And, assuming there's subdued demand from the other customers, can't you use that their current capacity to supply to our contract customer starting January?
So currently we are supplying, under contract we are supplying the same quantity. Only there are few deferments in deliveries, but production is going on at the same capacity. Other customers, yes, orders have delayed and deliveries have been deferred, but production continues. So our projection of supply, we have aligned it accordingly. Once we have the additional product available.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were running at close to 90-95% utilization. So in the second quarter, we continued running at that utilization?
No, production is going on at the same capacity. We have not reduced any production.
Right. So that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why we are seeing the inventory build up. But in Q3 also you mentioned that demand is going to be slow. So we'll continue to build up inventory.
Yes, we will build up inventory because we have strong projections for coming year, and we have been in touch with most of our customers, and we expect the demand to bounce back.
Okay, that's it from me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. A reminder to all the participants, anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star and 1 now. We have a follow-up question from the line of Sushil Pujwani from Greenedge Capital. Please go ahead.
So just wanted to understand what would be the steady-state margins which we can probably achieve, once we are probably back to seeing demand coming back and, probably next fiscal.
Yeah.
What can be the steady-state margin?
See, our target margin, EBITDA margin, we wanted to maintain was between 7 to 9%. we have achieved that is up to 7%, 7.1% also, and we wanted to continuously improve upon that. Just these two quarters we have, because of lack of slow purchases from our customers and our current situation, we are not able to achieve. Our target is to achieve from 7 to 9% EBITDA.
But sir, essentially I see things that requires a operating leverage kind of to play in for your business, because unless you see, a steady state demand, I think this achieving this 7%, because if I see in the last many quarters, maybe it has been achieved maybe twice or thrice, but otherwise you've always missed on this number. So sir, then what on a company level, sir, how do we actually decide on maintaining it at a steady state level?
I think you will have to give us a few more quarters, 2-3 quarters, and then you will see these numbers stabilizing. Because we, as far as our main product is concerned, triclopyr, we started with a 40 ton per month capacity, and then now we are increasing. So there are continuously it has been increased. So a few months we have, few quarters in past we have had issues due to raw material prices jumping up and everything. But once the situation stabilizes, we will have steady numbers.
Sir, how much is the contribution from exports to domestic now?
It is still about 60% is from export.
And sir, how much of that is probably from European countries?
Europe is negligible. We are not exporting any significant quantities to Europe. It's mainly from South America, Australia, Southeast Asia, US.
So like you said, the larger impact is actually coming in from Australia.
Yes, for this quarter, yes, we are facing impact. The impact is from Australia, reduction in purchases.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may please press star and 1 now. As there are no further questions, I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Sayam Pokharna for closing comments.
Thanks a lot for joining in. If there are any further queries, please feel free to reach out to us. Our email addresses are there at the back of the investor presentation. Thanks a lot again.
Thank you,
sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
On behalf of TIL Advisors Private Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect.